And welcome back to For Such a Time as This, the place where there is no such thing as a silent witness. Boy, the end times seems like many are focusing in on the end times. And we have an very interesting video today. Let's start off, as always, with the scripture. Here's the scripture. Revelation 13:1. The dragon stood on the shore of the sea, and I saw a beast coming out of the sea. It had 10 horns and 7 heads, with 10 crowns on its horn, and on each head a blasphemous name. Now, in the book of Daniel, beasts were governments. They were always governments. Now, what oftentimes struck me, I couldn't quite understand it. I'll admit it. I couldn't quite understand the 10 horns and the 7 heads. Why would you have a government made up of such? I never quite understood it, but I'm going to show you how this could possibly play out in the coming years. Again, it's a theory. I'm not claiming to set a specific date or time, but let me show you just a little bit how it could possibly unfold. First of all, let me show you a clip of President Trump and his peace efforts. Here we go.
Just yesterday, the United Nations Security Council formally adopted my peace plan and officially endorsed the Board of Peace. This is a board like no other. It will have the heads of major countries. I think all of the major countries. I hope Your Highness will be on the board. You'll accept, I hope. But the Board of Peace will be something that's never even been thought of before. And it's covering Gaza, but it'll end up covering large portions of the world. And I was honored to be chosen the chair of that Board of Peace. And I think you'll see something that nobody's ever seen before in terms of the status of the board. There will never be a board like the board that we're going to be announcing. Everybody wants to be on the board, and it'll end up being quite a large board because it'll be the heads of every major country. And the United Nations passed it, I guess unanimously, you can say. China, which was against it, took a pass, didn't vote against it, and Russia, which was against it, didn't vote against it. So we appreciate it because one negative vote and it doesn't happen. So people were shocked to see that was approved, and that was a great honor. It's a great honor for me, I will tell you. I think it's something like nobody's ever even imagined. So it's called the Board of Peace, and watch for it because it's going to do some fantastic things. And I know we're both deeply committed to an enduring ceasefire. It grows into the beautiful, lasting peace, and we've got things going at numbers and far ahead of schedule.
All right. Nothing's been ever thought of before. I think that's what the UN is, but that's okay. Hey. Here's where I am somewhat thinking. What is the Board of Peace? I am using AI. It's a wonderful tool. What's the Board of Peace? Here's what's spit out. The Board of Peace is a proposed international transitional administrative body for the Gaza Strip, meant to govern overseas construction, security, broader. You see that, blah, blah, blah. It was authorized by the United Nations Security Council in Resolution 2808, adopted 17th of November of 2025. Under the plan, the board will exercise internal legal personality, giving it authority to coordinate and to oversee funding, reconstruction, administration, security, governance of Gaza while the territory recovers. But look at this. The leadership and structure that is proposed, right? Trump named himself as the chairman of the board. He said that others put him up to it. That's fine. Board is expected to include around a dozen other leaders, a mix of Arab and Western international figures. That number is said to be anywhere between 10 to 12. Maybe it's going to be 10. But look at this. Day-to-day governance of Gaza will be governance of Gaza will not be directly by the board. Instead, the plan calls for a technocratic Palestinian committee, an apolitical, nonpartisan, right, but an apolitical, nonpartisan drawn from Gaza to handle everyday administration, civil services, municipal governments, etc., etc. So what you have here literally is a plan of these big governments that's going to empower a smaller governing body. Say it again. The bigger governments are going to create another governing board underneath it. A beast, as Daniel put it, 10 horns, 7 heads. If the horns are countries, and if there are 10 countries that form this governance underneath them, then you may have 10 horns, 7 heads, 10 crowns on its heads, and each head had a blasphemous name. Okay, let's see what that is. I don't know, but perhaps, and again, I didn't come up with this on my own. Someone said that the 10 nations, right now as it stands, it'll be 10 nations. And if they create a governance underneath them, technocrats, that's where you get the 7 heads. I don't know. We'll see. But Mr. Trump, people have thought of it before, and this governing board you're putting together, ooh, you said it's like none ever done before. I'm afraid you might be right.